Okay, so for lab 8.2 here, we're going to be verifying our settings and making sure that our computers show up in WSUS. So first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that TEC330 ADDC, FSPS, and TEC330 client machines are started. Again, you'll want to make sure that the TEC330 DC is started and the TEC330 FSPS is started for a couple minutes before you start up your client machine. I had already had these set up and started from the previous lab that I was doing right before this. So I'm going to start my client machine. I know it says log into TEC330 client first, but I am going to log into both of my other machines. And what I'm going to do, since I already had this lab open, I mean, it's not going to hurt to do the same thing. I am going to run a GP update on these machines. So, do run cmd GP update /force. And then I'll do the same thing on this one. And then I'm going to open up my Windows Server Update services a while as well on here. Now we'll see if we get any computers showing up in here. So one thing about WSUS is sometimes it takes a little while for computers to show up in here. We're going to attempt to force them to check in. However, we're going to verify the settings before we do that. I'm just going to log in as, I guess as administrator to the client machine. Oops. TEC330 / So what we can do to make sure that it's showing up is we can run what's called rsop.msc, which is going to give us the resultant set of policy, or in layman's terms, what policies are being applied to this computer. And we can then look inside of administrative templates. Oh, looks like it's already picking up Windows updates. So here we can see that it's getting the right server, all that type of stuff. You can see that our settings are being applied here. Okay, so let's do the same thing on this one. rsop.msc. See again, Windows update. It's got our intranet server. It's got client-side targeting going to servers, so we can tell that that's working as far as group policy is concerned. Now we can do the same thing on this one. So we'll do RSOP on the client machine, I should say, and we'll see what we get on this one. This one we just booted, so hopefully it's already picked up the changes, but if not, we will fix that. So here we can see we have our intranet server, and then we have our client-side targeting is going to user computers. Okay, so now we need to see if we can get it to show up in So it looks like it did not target it correctly. However, it is here. And I wonder if it checked in with WSUS before it actually targeted it. But what you can do is you can move it manually. So there, we've moved it. So now it's under user computers. So you can see in here the client. You'll be able to see all the updates for that client and so forth. So this is where a lot of that will start showing up. So now there is a way that we can try to force it to check in with WSUS and hence show up. One way to do it is just to, check for updates. So let's go to update security. I guess we can't do it because it's already got updates pending. And if you open up the command prompt on the DC, the command that you want to run is WUAUCLT /detect now. And that will actually force it to check in. So I'm going to do the same thing on FSPS. Still have my command prompt open. And then I can type my clipboard text again. And we'll give it a minute and hopefully it'll check in. Sometimes it can take a little bit. You can see now that it reported back its status that all the updates that are in this server are already installed on that machine. And again, sometimes it can take a while for them to show up in here. So don't be too concerned about that part. The Windows 10 machines seem to check in a lot quicker than the server machines. So if you're having issues with it showing up, you can leave it on for a little bit, let it go, see what happens. We can also try the command, which is the same command, but instead of detect now, it's report now. Try that. Anything to try to get these to connect. Like I said, normally the WSUS server is running 24/7. However, for this lab, we can't really do that and wait till later. So as long as you got this part right, I mean, you're pretty safe to know that it's going to connect to the server. It's going to get updates from the server, which is the main purpose of WSUS. So that is it for this. Again, you'll want to take screenshots of the rsop.msc utility showing the Windows Update settings, and then you'll want to take a screenshot of the WSUS admin tool showing the TEC330 client in the user computer's computer group, which is this one right here. Let's do one last check before I call it a day on this. Tried. Nope, nothing yet. Sometimes they take a while to show. But anyway, so that's it for this lab, and I hope you learned a lot from these WSUS labs.